everyone who's listening. Thank you for listening to our podcast. And yet again, we have another special couple. You know why these couples are special? It's because they love God. They love the Word of God. And today's topic is called Complete, Finished, or Completely Finished. Now, there's a bit of a background to this podcast. Someone posted something on a little note on WhatsApp. And the WhatsApp note said, no English dictionary has been able to explain the difference between the two words complete and finished. Some people say there is no difference, but there is. When you marry the right woman, you are complete. When you marry the wrong woman, you are finished. And if you marry a wife who likes shopping, you are completely finished. All right, this is not the Bible. Before you jump in and say amen, but it's an interesting topic, and we had a few reactions, and the first one was from Sister Oluche to this post, and let me begin with you, Sister Oluche. And by the way, let me introduce this lovely couple. This is Sister Oluche and Brother Heine John. Heine. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have checked that before we started recording. Sorry.
No problem.
Brother John, as you know. But yeah, Heine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah. And we asked them to really just give us insights on financial matters, and this was the opportunity. See, they promised, and here they are. They're doing it. Do you want to say anything before we dive into the questions?
Let's go for it, man.
Let's go for it. Okay. All right, good. So, Sister Oluche, you said, in reality, not true. When a man is when a man is abundantly blessed, he has a liberal heart. He loves to see his woman happy. He will enjoy a woman who likes shopping if he gets one. So here's the question. If a man exercises financial discipline, would that determine how liberal or not his heart is?
But before you answer that question, what were you trying to say by saying what you said?
Okay, what I was trying to say is when a man is blessed abundantly, right? You have everything in place, and let's not how do I say? Let's not confuse or deceive ourselves. There are people in that category, right? Mm-hmm. When a man is blessed and you love your wife, what else? Investment-wise, you're doing something. What else? And you get one who loves to spend and shop. What else? I don't think so. I am of the opinion that you just, give her her portion and she goes shopping. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right? Mm-hmm. So actually, for me, nothing. I don't know if Deborah is there any other thing you want to hear? For me, that was what was in my mind to say, when you come to the place of abundance, this shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be a problem. If you love your wife, you have the money, she has to spend it.
Okay.
I like that she has to spend it.
Okay. What kind of expenditure are we talking about? Are we saying she spends it on herself or on the family? What portion is hers?
It depends. Like, for some men, some men give their wives what do I say? Money. Yeah.
Somebody
so
says it's
she money, right? I like that one. Yeah. So is your stuff, is your thing. So you do as you want. If you want to buy for the kids, you just buy for yourself. You buy for him. Yeah. There's no point. It depends on what is given to her, and you don't. You when a woman is taking it to spend in the home, she's not okay. She's part of the home, but what I mean is on herself. Let me just pin it down on herself. Yeah. Buy the things, the pair of shoes she wants. change her clothing, make her hair, go for the jewelry she wants and all that. Yeah.
I think the shopping referred to the means
herself. Shop.
Okay. All right. Now we were trying to get into financial discipline.
Okay.
Is that something that could stand in the way of her getting the she money?
For some, in some marriages, that may be a point, but it shouldn't be like like we said earlier.
Yeah.
All right. That some men they capitalize on that, and they become stingy to the wife. Mm-hmm. But the balance can come to play. Do you understand? Yes, you can come to a marriage where there is financial discipline and there's a she money. Mm-hmm. She's enjoying herself. It's about planning.
Yeah.
I remember when we just came to Mozambique. I hadn't started doing anything. I was trying to get my foot in here.
Yeah.
And my husband started paying me salary. Okay? It wasn't easy. We had a lot. We came to this place, with so many things, our hands were full, so many things to tackle over there at home. But, looking at me, it's like, she can't just be. I took her out from that place where she was doing so well. It will be so bad to just leave her. So he gives me money. So I just, go shopping every month, even if I don't finish it, then I know what to do. It's my stuff. Mm-hmm. Right. So I think if a family, you can have all working together. Financial discipline, she money and all that is about sitting down and planning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. One question that some people may be wondering about is, what would you say is a happiness generator for a woman who's married?
All right.
Yeah.
I keep saying it may differ. For me, it's peace.
Yeah.
Again and again and again, I will say it is peace. When there is peace and, that quietness, then you find love. Then you find everything in place.
And what brings peace? We have to get to that money.
Okay. Yes. Let us not. Money gives peace. Yeah. Let's not dispute that, right? Mm-hmm. It does. When you see poverty, you know that it's very difficult to get peace, but it can be gotten. But though it can be quite stressful. So, what gives peace? What gives peace? Peace gives peace. What gives peace? That what gives you peace? When you're with someone you love. Okay, love gives peace, and money also. Yes.
And money gives peace.
Money does.
Yeah.
Money does.
Okay. All right. So you also quoted "Chop My Money" by Nigerian duo P Square.
You have to say it right. Chop my money.
This girl.
I'm out of context.
I'm telling you, she got it.
Okay, chop my money.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, Brother John, what are your thoughts on this?
Chop my money?
Yeah, the whole thing about money and the wife and portioning some towards her of your money and all that. Yeah.
No, I'm fully in support of what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I think the woman should spend the husband's money.
Yeah.
If the man has it, I think it should be spent. I think every man has. It's relative. It's difficult to say I don't have. If you're counting in thousands, you have thousands. The woman should spend the thousands. If you're counting in hundreds, you have hundreds. The woman should spend the hundreds. And financial discipline, it's fine, I mean, she needs to be careful how she's spending my money, because I have other things to do. But that cannot be mistaken for stinginess. Yeah. So there's something called spoiling your wife. I mean, irrespective of the level, your financial level, you can spoil your wife. And if you're blessed with a reasonable woman, like these two ladies here.
Amen.
They will know that you're trying your best.
Yeah.
They will know they are not comparing themselves with. If you guys are counting in thousands, your wife is not comparing herself with another woman whose husband is counting in millions. She knows that, yes, my husband is really spoiling me with his thousands. So I think that's how it ought to be. So I agree with everything she has said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Going back to WhatsApp, we had a comment from someone, Brother Bukosi specifically, who said, a successful man is one who can pay for all his wife's wants. A successful woman is one who can find such a man. This is a complicated saying to discuss, because it feels like if you basically would not have a successful man or wife, you know what I'm saying? For the man to be able to cover everything, is that what qualifies his success? And for the woman to have success is to find a man like that. It's quite a challenge.
You said it's not the Bible,
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yeah,
I think for a woman to help her husband be successful in that line, she would have to be a wise woman, because he says a successful man is one who can pay for all his wife's wants. Just like Brother John just said, if your husband is spending in thousands, you won't expect to be spending in millions. So if your wife is wise in her spending, she automatically makes the husband successful, because he will supply the wants that they can afford, and she won't be exploding and painting the town red with money that they don't have. Yeah, people do things differently. You may find that a husband would rather than give the money to the wife, he would probably buy things for her, purchase things for her. But I think that could also make things quite complicated in terms of managing time, maybe even managing resources. So I think people do things differently, because I think with the purchasing,
we are aware that with some couples, to hand, say, a credit card or a debit card to the spouse, control. Not everyone has the same kind of control, you see. So
so I was going to say, I think with this thing of always purchasing for your spouse, there's also a bit of a level of mistrust, because you would think that if you trust your spouse enough, it would be easy to give them the money and just go shower yourself. You're not worried that they will bring your card on zero. So there needs to be a balance, I think. Yes, spoil your spouse, but also allow them to do their own thing, like what she was saying. Allow them. She goes and does her own thing. If the money remains, she doesn't need to come and account to Brother John about it. It's her money. She's chopping it.
Chopping it well.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say that also, the trust is built over time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if you don't give her that freedom, I mean, she needs to. She needs to enjoy the freedom, abuse it. You talk, you repair the abuse.
Yeah.
She goes again until she gets, because marriage is lifetime.
Yeah.
If you don't build that trust, are you going to keep buying for her for how many years? Yeah, and I don't think any reasonable woman will intentionally abuse. I think she's probably women express themselves. One of the ways is through shopping. Really, really. So she's probably expressing herself
Yeah.
Probably didn't know. It's like didn't know when she overstepped the boundaries.
Oh, she.
You know?
You sure?
But thinking a bit ahead
Best to
of
give her the money.
That's what I'm saying. Give her the money.
Yeah, just give her, not in a
Okay,
card.
give her the amount
Just this is your amount. Put
Yeah.
in your account. Just
and go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I think we also have to think ahead of time. And I'm going to ask about your family financial strategy in a minute. But we have to think ahead of time. We've learned from history, especially on this side of the world, Southern Africa and so on, where you have a spouse, a lady who may have lost their husband, right? And she is basically clueless about what is going on when it comes to financial matters. Why? Because there was no strategy, or they never discussed money. The husband never discussed money with her. Isn't even aware of the businesses that he's involved in.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, she's also lost. Not only does she lose the husband, but she also loses property and things, and has no clue on how to use or spend the wealth, so to speak. So it's really critical that we as couples really get into this thing, the finances, working together every step.
And
And I like what you
transparency.
said, building that trust, because there's no one else that you ought to trust that much, like your
Then
spouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the place where trust is tested most is in finances.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
And
in
especially in
finances.
marriage.
In
Wow.
finances in marriage.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So what is your family financial strategy, and how have you implemented it successfully?
Okay, I'll go for that. Strategy basically, it's to. I think you're asking about how do we manage our income? How do we spend our income? Yeah, that's what you mean. So basically, family needs are sorted out first. Top priority. The wife and the children and the husband have got to be taken care of.
Before we say only husband and wife and children.
Then there must be a place for giving to the kingdom. And our concept of which we've discussed over and over again with the kids and with my wife, even last Sunday we talked about it. Our concept of giving to the kingdom is that if you go to the Bible, there are 4 categories of people that must be given to, and that is widows, the poor, the fatherless, and people that are 100% dedicated to kingdom ministries. In other words, they don't have any source of income. They need to be given to. And that applies to all the types of giving in the Bible, first fruit, tithe, and all that. So our concept is that from what we earn, we bring out a certain percentage that we give out, we give across board. It's just. I think giving is a thing of the heart. So there must be that giving to the kingdom, and then there must be investment. There must be an investment, building of generational wealth to secure, as it were, the much we can, the future of the coming generation. And the future of the children, the much we can. The rest is up to God, So that is the concept we have.
And I think that's where it starts, between husband and wife, where they work together towards that, and then that has to become generational. So your children have also learned it from you. They've witnessed it, and it would be much easier for them to, when they go into marriage, they also have that in mind. Rather than just thinking that marriage is just this big romance thing, of which it can be, but there's much more to marriage than that.
So unlike the statement that was made on whether complete and what's that?
Complete and
finished.
Or completely finished.
Or completely finished. Unlike that statement, which is not biblical, your family financial strategy is very biblical.
Very, very.
Very biblical.
Yeah.
So that is something to adhere to, even to encourage couples listening. Sit down with your spouse and find the scriptures to back up your financial strategies. so that you are kingdom couples. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
what do you, Brother John? What do couples need to know about family money, its purpose, and irrespective of whether they have a strategy or not? What is the key thing that they must know?
Yeah, I think it's still tied to what I said initially.
Yeah.
When money comes into the family, we need to realize that God gives it to us to be able to execute the goals of the family. The goals of the family is a place where everyone receives support. So the kids, everyone needs to be sorted out as per their needs.
Yeah.
Then God also gives money to the family for the purpose of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Like what I've just shared. Yeah. And again, investment, so it
Yeah.
still boils down to the same
Yeah.
thing, really. The family, the kingdom, investment. And
Yeah.
you must sit down and ask yourself, what does it mean to give to the kingdom? What does it mean to invest? What does it mean to take care of my kids? When I say taking care of the family, it doesn't mean sorting out all the needs of all the wants of the family, all the wishes of the family before giving to God. No. But I just mean that children should, your child's education should be taken care of. The Bible says you cannot say, oh, what I wanted to give to my mother, I'm giving it as tithes to the church.
Yeah.
Jesus says that's stupid, If you need to take care of your mother, you need to take care of your father.
Yeah.
I mean, her parents are on salary, my parents are on salary, my children need to be taken care of. What God calls family needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Then you need to think about the kingdom and who do we need to give to in the kingdom. There are poor people around us, and we have widows around us. We have the fatherless.
Yeah.
We have missionaries that are not working, are doing nothing other than preaching the gospel. Those guys need to be supported. Then of course we also belong to church family that has financial needs also that need to be met. So that is giving into the kingdom. Then whatever remains, you need to think of investments, and yeah.
Wow, you've covered a lot, a lot of things concerning ministry, and and that perspective on how to use money and where to direct your money is not what you would hear from some motivational speaker. You've covered quite a lot. So what's your family policy around credit acquisition and debt accumulation avoidance?
Okay, we accumulate debt, we accumulate credit, but a credit that will pay for itself.
Yes.
So only for business purposes and investment purposes. Other than that, it doesn't make sense accumulating debts.
Yeah.
So families should not run away from debt, but do your analysis very well. Make sure we've picked a lot of bank loans, which is very healthy because it pays for itself.
Yeah.
So do your analysis very well. Go for credits if there is need for it. Don't run away from it. You can't run away from it, because I think the visions that God gives us can never. Oftentimes, what the physical cash we have cannot handle it. That's really what makes it God. That's where faith comes in. So sometimes God expects you to go to the bank and pick a loan, and then and be able to sort it out. So we go for credits.
Yeah.
And we've always had very good credits because whatever we put it into ends up paying for
itself.
over and over, So it's good. But we don't go for debts for. I will never buy a car on a loan.
Yes.
I will never.
Yeah.
Because
that's not really an asset, because it's not bringing you anything.
Yes.
Yeah. It only depreciates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will not pick. The basic wisdom about credits. just go with it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to ask something?
No. I was going to just say that I think it really boils down to good planning, good financial planning. Because if you're going to take money and then you can't pay for it, you are losing more than you initially had. So yeah, it comes down to good financial planning.
Let's get into a fun question here. Would you, Sister Oluche, categorically say that women have a higher shopaholic propensity than men in a marriage?
From
What was
Brother
that?
John's reaction, he's all for it.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. We do, and we have no apology for that.
Okay.
We do.
Okay.
And I've said before we do because someone said, and I believe, that when Adam saw Eve in the garden, he said, wow. And you know, for you to maintain a wow, it takes a lot. You got to spend, chop your money, shop. That is it. So we do. We have more. We have a tendency to shop more. Yeah. Though not, it may differ. Like we said before, also. You may come to a marriage and you see that it's the other way around. Yes, but basically, I would say yes.
So what
we
are you
do.
calling shopping? Because for a man and a woman, shopping means a lot of things.
Different things.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but being
No,
a
but-
shopaholic now, that is like an addiction. So anything you see something on Oprah, you see something, an advert of a brand new blender, or even just clothing.
That becomes a disease.
For a man, you're
Like
talking.
for a guy, for instance.
Yeah.
Let's
Of
look
course,
at guy
because-
things. There are guys who lust after cars, for example. Who lust after what?
We've seen those.
Yeah. So they're different
Of
kind of
course.
items.
So,
But the male
So if-
kind of shopping is different from the women, I think.
How?
I think women go more for clothing items.
Yeah, of course. The items women go for is different from the items men go for. But
The
does it
addiction.
mean
Mentality.
that women are more addicted to shopping than men?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so too.
So
no,
your point is
you,
different from Sister Oluchi.
Yes, my point is different. For instance, I let me give you an example. When I move, I hate to lack a thing in the house. So if my soap finishes and I go to buy soap, I don't buy a tablet. I'll buy it for 6 months. I don't want to buy it.
That's me.
That's
you
typical
understand?
of men.
That's
Amiju,
me.
that's
I'm
it
like,
too.
why
Exactly.
are
But
we out of this?
But
You
wait,
understand?
you see why I said it's the women. You are buying for 6 months, but I wouldn't. Will you?
No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Because
I would
working
rather
on my budget.
Now,
Because
I
working with a budget.
Yes.
But that's not
okay,
the reason.
okay. For me,
You want to pay again and again.
I derive fun in
you
just
understand?
going again and again and again. You see,
So she
Yeah,
would
I
rather
think the
go
word
every month.
is a bit different. She's
Yeah.
not the kind of, you actually don't really like going into shops though.
I love
Yeah.
to go. You know.
Okay,
You
so
see?
it's not a okay. Let's even use let's use here as the ecosystem of our analysis.
All right.
We have 4 people here.
Yeah.
One lady, 2 ladies, very different.
Yeah.
So you see, it's not a lady thing. If we
It's
do
just that
if we
we've
do a
been looking at it
probability
from the
here,
angle of
Yeah.
shopping for.
do you like to go several times now?
No, I
So
don't.
among the 4 of us, the only 1%, 25%,
Yeah.
wants to go several times. Then we have 2 of us that we want to go once, but in that once, we'll
You
spend
take
what she will spend in
everything.
6 months.
Yeah.
You must take what
You
you,
understand?
what you will
Everything,
need,
yes.
so you don't run out of it.
Thank you.
Just a few days. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it can be frustrating. Anyway, yeah, that was good.
Okay.
So looking at
Very interesting.
yeah, it is, that
We
is
all
different.
But I think we all shop.
We are
all
so
shop.
different.
You
all
see.
shop, yeah.
I don't mind shopping, but I want to do it and stick to my budget and go. But when you go shopping, he will do it.
He has no budget.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
scolds
He
me
needs to-
like, you
yeah.
spent so much. Why? Why did you have? You didn't need to get all these things.
Okay.
But I'm thinking in my
Okay.
mind,
Okay.
we need these things.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I
we
mean?
need
Because
it.
I
If we
don't
don't
want
need
to
it
go
now, we
back.
need it again tomorrow.
Exactly. I don't want to run out of things.
Okay, now for her, she will never ask me, why did you spend this much? Do you understand? So I will come home, dump it. Okay. Then if she goes to buy that soap, she will buy only one. I come back. This will soon finish.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I think
because I derive joy going and
she
going.
really
So
derives
sometimes
joy.
I don't even have anything to buy. I just dress up and I just go to the
Okay.
shop just to
True,
look around.
very
So then for
And I come
Oluchi,
back.
For you, then shopping is what we call shopping therapy. It's a therapy.
Yes.
Many
Sometimes
times,
I
yeah.
feel bored and
You're
I
right.
just go
You're
to the
very
shop.
right, Deborah.
When especially the ornament shop, you know,
Yeah.
where you have decorations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
things and all that.
It does something to me on the inside. Do you understand? So when I'm like, clock up, I just walk in, maybe go to, where is that, my favorite? Where did you buy this? Where is that? Home center. I love my home center. So,
I know.
yes. So I just
They
walk
have
around.
lovely
I
things,
walk
yeah.
around and I'm good. As
Yeah.
in good. Right. So for
But
me,
you know what? I think you also you have a touch for art.
Yeah.
So that's probably
Yes.
why.
Yeah.
So you're an
Yeah.
artist. That's
Yeah.
why you're going into your world when you're doing these things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think she has a very high emotional understanding and appreciation of these things.
Yeah.
So for me, I walk in here. Here is beautiful. I'm okay. It's beautiful. But for her, each item here means a thing.
yeah.
If I come in here, and, each item means a thing to her. So for me, this dining table is okay.
So we're at their house, guys.
But when,
You're listening.
but when this shifts,
Yeah.
or if she comes in and if I come in and I don't see this, I wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
The place is still beautiful.
Yeah.
But once this misses, everybody's in trouble apart from me. So she's got a high appreciation of this.
Yeah.
And all that.
yeah. So for me, I like to shop.
Yeah.
To look around. No,
Yeah.
No wonder you
not
were the
really.
first one to comment.
React to that.
No wonder. She doesn't want anybody
Yeah. Don't bring
spoiling
in-
her game here,
Sibanda came and I'm like, don't.
Don't try it,
Yeah, just two more questions. So, taking biblical principles into consideration, how practical or even beneficial is it for a couple to operate within three financial marital spheres, which are commonly known as what is mine, what is yours, or mine, what is ours, or mine.
Go for it. Okay,
Yeah.
so what I think is, can I go? So what I think is, of course, I think it's the Bible is clear. We are one. Everything we own is ours, and it's actually in Southern Africa that I saw this within Africa.
Me too.
We're not used to it where we
West
come.
Africa.
We're really not used to it. So coming here and seeing it, I really got surprised. Where you actually see forms, you're filling credit forms, and they're asking you, "Do you understand?" All those kind of questions. I'm like, I didn't think there was, apart from what happens in the Western world, I didn't think in Africa we had any other type of marriage, but owning everything we have. Do you understand? Yes. So I think the Bible says we are naked before each other. We own each other. I mean, if she owns your body and you own her body, what else is left to be owned?
Yeah.
What else is left to be owned? So I really don't. When I see Christians practice that, I think it's. I don't think I know. It's devilish. It's not God's system. It's really, really devilish.
Where people want to own things for themselves. Okay.
Yeah, where people say, I needed to define that.
Yeah.
Where people say, in this marriage, what is mine is mine.
Yeah.
My salary is my salary. I spend it as I want.
Yeah.
And your salary is your salary. Whatever I own before I married you.
Yeah. So you said you encountered that first here in Southern Africa.
Within Africa. I didn't know it existed in Africa.
Yeah.
I only used to hear about it when they are divorcing themselves in the West.
In the West, yeah.
But here I thought it was just better. I mean, but it's so strong in South Africa.
Yes.
It's so strong there. But I think and you actually see it in churches. I think it's a demonic system, is an adulteration of what God
marriage,
said.
yeah.
It is we need to call it for what it is. It is a demonic infiltration of the biblical marital institution.
Yeah.
It's just not of God, and it needs to be killed.
I completely agree. I remember when I was doing law, one of the subjects we were doing was family law, and we're talking about divorce. And the lecturer said, I advise you all to get married out of community of property. Because marriage can go any way. So I'm thinking, if she's advising that, you are going into marriage thinking anything can happen, and I'm ready to go. I'm taking my stuff. So if you have that mindset going into marriage, divorce is inevitable.
It is inevitable.
It is inevitable, because
You are prepared for it.
exactly,
You're prepared for
and
it,
that's
yeah.
not the way you're supposed. At least the Christian way, you're not supposed to go into marriage thinking one day I'm walking out. That's not right. Therefore, what you're saying, Brother John, it's demonic. It is what it is.
It is
It
what
is
it
what it is.
is what it is.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
we're
but you know what?
say.
Let's also look at the reality, because people are coming from different backgrounds, different family backgrounds, and if, for instance, where people inherited property from their family, talking about, you spoke of being married in and out of community. With accruals, whether you amassed your own wealth before you got married. Some people say, no, that remains mine and mine alone, so we will start our own wealth together. It's a complex thing, but either way, it doesn't take away from what the word says. We ought to share things. We ought to own things together. It has to be that way as believers, I believe. So I think from the get-go, when people get married, they should marry in community of property.
What is yours is mine. What's
as
mine
believers.
is yours.
Yeah, it has to be that way.
Yeah, and I like the statement that Brother John made. If your spouse's body is yours and the other way around,
What else is remaining?
What else?
What else? So that is something that we need to ponder on for us couples, and choose to please God with everything, not just some things and then others you exclude because you are afraid of what could happen. I mean, transparency, Brother John said that in the beginning, transparency is necessary.
Yeah. Well, the final question is, how much power does money carry in influencing your family decisions?
Okay. You've not talked for a while.
I have. money matter. This one is on your head.
It does. It has. Of course, we have to be realistic. Money affects decisions in our marriage. Even though we believe so much in faith. We've taken a lot of decisions you must take decisions that require faith. God is going to set goals before you, set targets before you that your finances cannot carry it. And so you must be able to move with or without. So, priority, faith must come first, finances. But if the Lord has not spoken, in other words, it's not a straight instruction from you're not sensing God is saying this, then I think finances need to determine. You come back to the earth, and take decisions based on what is in your pocket. But we have taken so many decisions that we had nothing in our pocket for. But because we were clear, God is saying, move in this direction. This is where I'm leading you. And you see God come through. But other than that, money affects our decisions. Money affects where you send your children to. Money affects Money affects everyone. Money affects where you live. Money affects what you ride. Money affects what you wear. You must consider finances in taking such decisions here. But I think that's why I loved the first question you asked about family financial strategy. Every home needs to have one.
Yeah.
It helps you to be able to draw the lines. It helps you to be able to say, this is what we can do, this is what we cannot do. And then the things you cannot do, you take it to the Lord in prayer and see if He's asking you to take a leap of faith, and never be afraid of taking leaps of faith. You know, together with the kids, we've taken certain leaps of faith that look stupid, but we are saying this is what the Lord is telling us. And sometimes I told my wife, let's never be afraid of the kids finding out that we didn't hear from God right. I'm not afraid of telling my kids, God said this, we're doing this, and tomorrow they realize, oh, dad made a mistake. I'm okay with it, because they need to realize that's the package in Christianity. We make mistakes. We can think we heard God and we didn't hear from God. So when we think that God is saying this is where we should go, we let the kids know this is where we're going financially with this project. We think this is what God said. And a greater percentage of the time they realize, oh, our parents heard God right. This is God coming through. Of course, once in a while you see that, oh, they didn't hear right. It could have been emotional stuff. But it's okay. I want them to know that this is what Christianity, you're going to miss God at times. But in his love, he will find you back. He will find. Sincere. I say that I would rather make a mistake sincerely following God than make a mistake being afraid of following God, being afraid of missing God, you know.
And that is profound. That is certainly profound. Better to walk together in Christ than to walk by yourself. And thank you very much for this. Was quite a rich discussion, and I personally got some insights on really how to look forward. I especially like how you are describing, modeling money management towards your children, because they are aware of it. And on top of it all, you are including God in it. So that is absolutely key. So this is a very rich discussion. So thank you for giving us this opportunity to chat with you. We hope we can do this again. Maybe that post was just to kick this discussion off. You were on our schedule, by the way. It wasn't because of the post.
Okay.
Yeah, it just came earlier. But thank you very much. We truly appreciate what you said, and we appreciate you as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, ladies, let's chop our husbands' money.
And husbands, let them. Let them.
Wow. This is great.